Hey everybody, Bill Jennings here. Welcome back. Tips on Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about pricing and one component of pricing, which is what do you do if a seller wants to overprice the home? So, for instance, for these purposes, we're going to say the house is worth $250,000 in your or my professional opinion. So we've done a comparative market analysis. We've determined that we believe that it's most likely going to sell for $250,000. Number one, do you price it at $250,000 or do you price it above a little bit? A lot of people say, well, let's try a little bit. We can always come down. Well, if you price it right at $250,000, there's a great chance for multiple offers, and you may get more than you expected. Happens a lot, especially in a very good market, which is what we're in now. On the other hand, people may say, well, let's try a little bit, and you know what? Maybe it works out. Maybe you get that higher number. So a couple things. Number one, if people want to try something a little higher, I say, great. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you get every penny you can. And that's our goal, is to get you every penny we can possibly get you. And the reality is, as great as we say we are, as much business as I say we do, once in a while, we may be wrong. And when or if we are, to the seller's benefit, I'm glad. I'm happy. I hope they get as much as they possibly can. Now, usually that's not the case, but once in a while it is. And so if they want to try it, great, we'll try it. On the other hand, so the second component, what we're going to talk about here, is, let's say, for instance, you've determined that same house to be worth $250,000, and rather than they want to try at $255,000, they want to put it at $285,000. Well, now what do? Now you've got a little bit of dilemma, right? Well, in those circumstances, number one, you may just not take it. You may say, I'm okay to try something a little higher, but this might be a waste of our time, might be a waste of your time, my time, and everyone's time. Or what you can do is you can use some verbiage which simply says, educate and explain why they don't want to price it too high. First and foremost, you don't want to price it too high because it could become shop-worn or stigmatized, which then means if it's been on the market too high for too long, people are going to skip over it and they're going to think something's wrong with it, when in reality, the only thing wrong with it is the price. But I want you to keep one phrase in mind, and that is, everybody wants what everybody else wants, and nobody wants what nobody else wanted. Okay? Therefore, that is the follow-up to being stigmatized or shop-worn. People do not want to buy something that even subconsciously they may think, oh, there's something wrong with this property. And once again, there may be absolutely nothing wrong with the property, but you don't ever want to get to that point. Secondly, the best thing that can happen is that property sells right away. And when that does happen, sometimes the seller will say, oh, we priced it too low. Well, not necessarily. You may have just had it right on the money. And that's what you want, because that is when you're going to get the best value, the best offer. And the last thing I have to say here today is that usually your first buyer, not offer, but buyer, that makes an offer, even though they may negotiate to where you want to be, but usually that first buyer outside of a multiple offer situation is your best buyer. Thanks for watching.